All right, so let's dive into a story that's well, it kind of feels like a holiday movie, but like with a twist, you know.
Okay.
We're going to follow Olivia. She's
Hmm.
a single mom in Denver, and she meets this guy,
Uh-huh.
and he sounds almost too good to be true. His name is Mr. Grant Money.
Wow.
I think you're going to find this fascinating.
I mean, it's definitely a catchy name.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
What really strikes me, though, is how this all plays out,
Mhm.
like during the holidays in Denver, you know?
Yeah.
So picture this. It's like snowing, there's festive music everywhere, but Olivia is like really feeling the pressure,
Totally.
juggling work and kids and
Isn't
bills
sure.
and this dream that just feels further and further away.
Oh, absolutely. She's at this holiday event at a community center with her kids. But even with this cheerful atmosphere around her, she's just carrying this weight, this
Yeah.
dream of opening a cafe,
Okay.
a cozy spot for the
I
community.
love that.
But it feels impossible, like climbing a mountain. 2 jobs barely cover the bills.
Right.
It's something a lot of people can relate to, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So many people have these big aspirations.
Yeah.
But then the financial reality hits, and it's like this giant brick wall.
Yeah.
And here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Olivia's about to get like a crash course in something so many people overlook.
What's that?
Grants.
Okay, so this is where Mr. Grant Money comes in.
Right.
This guy is a total character. Like,
Yeah.
picture him sharply dressed, super magnetic personality, even has like a pinky ring.
Oh, wow.
He spots Olivia at this event,
Okay.
and get this, he tells her she looks like someone with a dream
Wow.
and invites her to like share it over cocoa.
Bold move.
I know. Wouldn't you be intrigued?
I'd at least want to know more. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's almost like he represents this glimmer of hope
Yeah.
appearing when you least expect it.
Uh-huh.
But what's really smart is that he doesn't offer pity or a handout.
Right.
He encourages her to like really voice her dream,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
articulate it clearly.
Right.
Which is honestly so important. It's often the first step to making it real.
And that's exactly what she does.
Okay.
Olivia opens up about this cafe she wants to create, a
Right.
place that brings warmth and connection to her community.
Awesome.
And she's honest about her struggles, like
Yeah.
how it feels like this giant, overwhelming goal.
Sure.
Starting a business is daunting for anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people stumble.
Mm.
They have the passion, the idea,
Yeah.
but the know-how, the resources, it all feels impossible.
Totally.
So what Mr. Grant Money does next is actually brilliant.
Okay.
He doesn't just offer sympathy.
Mm.
He introduces Olivia to a world of possibilities that she probably hasn't even considered,
Like,
the world of grants.
he just drops this knowledge bomb on her, telling her there are thousands of grants out there,
Yeah.
specifically designed to help people like her.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia's mind is blown.
I bet.
She had no clue. And this is where I think things get really practical and honestly could be life-changing for some of our listeners out there.
For sure.
Uh,
A lot of people assume that grants are only for these huge nonprofits
right.
or scientific research.
Hmm.
They don't realize there are grants for small businesses.
Right.
Community projects the arts.
Wow.
It's essentially free money to fund good ideas.
Yeah.
But the real challenge is knowing where to find them and how to apply.
Okay. And that's where Mr. Grant Money's expertise comes in.
Exactly.
He doesn't just tell her about grants. He offers to be her guide,
Nice.
her mentor. He stresses starting small,
Okay.
building up her knowledge,
Uh-huh.
and like really tailoring applications to specific opportunities.
I like that.
He even points out that focusing on grants for women-owned businesses, community projects, and food-related ventures
Right.
could be a winning strategy for her.
Yeah, this mentorship aspect is so crucial.
Right.
It's like you can give someone a map,
Uh-huh.
but without knowing how to read it, how to navigate,
Yeah.
they'll probably still get lost. So Mr. Grant Money's not just giving Olivia information.
Right.
He's showing her how to use it.
I love that. And he makes this really impactful point.
What's that?
He highlights that securing grants could help her avoid taking on massive loans,
Huge.
which can be crippling for a new business.
For sure.
So he's not just talking about money here,
Right.
He's instilling confidence, showing her there's a path to achieve this dream without drowning in debt.
That shift from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered,
Yeah,
that's huge. And it's something a lot of entrepreneurs experience.
for sure.
Having a plan, a strategy, someone who believes in your vision.
It can make all the difference.
Totally.
By the end of their conversation, Olivia's like a different person.
Really?
She goes from feeling defeated to feeling like she can actually do this.
That's awesome.
I bet a lot of our listeners are thinking, Where can I find my own Mr. Grant money?
Right. But here's the thing.
Okay.
The real magic isn't about finding one person to solve all your problems.
Hmm.
It's about realizing that the resources and support systems are already out there.
Okay.
We might just not know where to look, or we might be afraid to ask for help.
So Mr. Grant money disappears into the snowy night,
Oh, wow.
but he leaves Olivia with these parting words. Remember, Olivia, the dream is yours for a reason. Don't let anyone, not even yourself, tell you it's impossible.
He's giving her the power back.
Yeah.
He's provided the guidance, but now it's up to her to take action.
And that's where the real journey begins.
Right. But before we get to that, I think we should unpack the world of grants a bit more.
Definitely. Let's dig into that in part 2 of this deep dive.
Sounds good. So, it's easy to think, okay, that's a nice story, but finding grants sounds like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, for sure.
But the truth is, there's actually a lot of support out there,
Really?
especially for people who are willing to put in the effort.
Okay, so let's get practical. Where does someone even start looking for these grants?
Right.
I mean, is it just endless Googling?
Yeah. I can see how it could feel overwhelming at first. Right.
But remember what Mr. Grant Money said.
What's that?
That strategy.
Okay.
The first step is to get really clear about your project.
Like, what do you mean?
Oh, like, what specific need are you addressing? What are your goals? And be honest with yourself about your capabilities.
Okay.
Are you better suited for a small local grant or something bigger?
That makes sense. So narrowing your focus from the beginning.
Exactly.
So once you have a clear picture of what you're looking for funding for,
Yeah.
then what?
Then it's time to explore the resources that are available.
Okay.
And luckily, there are some really great tools out there.
Like what?
Well, websites like grants.gov, for example.
Okay.
They're a goldmine for finding federal grants.
Grants.gov. Got it.
Yeah. They have the searchable database
Uh-huh.
with filters for categories, eligibility requirements, even deadlines.
That sounds like a great starting point. But what about grants that aren't from the federal government?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Don't limit yourself to just federal grants.
There are tons of foundations, corporations, even individuals who offer grants for specific causes.
Really?
Yeah. Think local. Check out community foundations, arts councils, even your local chamber of commerce.
Okay.
They often have information on smaller regional grants that might be a perfect fit for you.
So it's about casting a wide net,
Right?
but also being strategic about where you spend your time.
Exactly. And remember what Mr. Grant Money told Olivia?
Yeah?
Target grants that are tailored to your specific situation.
Right.
Are you a woman-owned business? Are you addressing a community need in a specific area?
Okay.
Those details can really help you find the grants where you're most likely to succeed.
This is super helpful. But let's be real, grant applications can be really complicated.
can be, yeah.
What are some tips to, avoid getting bogged down in paperwork
Right.
and actually make your application stand out?
Okay, well, first of all, pay attention to detail.
Okay.
Read the guidelines carefully. I can't stress that enough. Make sure you meet all the eligibility criteria. Follow the formatting instructions, provide all the documentation.
Got it.
It's like a recipe. You need to follow the steps carefully.
I bet a lot of people are nodding their heads right now. It's so easy to miss a small detail and then your application gets disqualified.
It happens all the time.
So accuracy is key.
Well,
What about making your application memorable?
Right.
How do you stand out from all the other applications?
tell a compelling story.
Okay.
This is where your passion needs to shine through.
Uh-huh.
Clearly articulate the problem you're addressing, the impact your project will have,
Yeah.
and why you're the right person to bring it to life. Think of it like you're pitching your dream to Mr. Grant Money himself.
I like that.
Would he be captivated? Would he want to invest?
It's not just about filling out forms. It's
Well,
about showcasing your vision, your commitment.
Exactly. And don't forget to quantify your impact whenever possible.
What do you need?
Like use data statistics or even compelling anecdotes to really demonstrate the potential of your project. Make it tangible. Show them the results that your grant will achieve.
Okay, so this is all great advice. But what happens after you hit submit?
Yeah.
Is it just a waiting game?
The waiting game is definitely part of it.
Right.
But there are things you can do to stay proactive.
Like what?
Well, you can follow up with the grant provider.
Okay.
Politely inquire about the timeline and the status of your application.
Makes sense.
And here's something that a lot of people overlook. View every application as a learning experience,
Oh, okay.
even if you don't get the grant request feedback.
Interesting.
Ask what you could improve for next time.
So it's a process of continuous learning and refinement.
Exactly. And remember, securing a grant isn't just about the money.
Okay.
It's also about validation. It's about building credibility and attracting other supporters to your cause.
That's a good point.
Even if you don't get the first one, the experience itself is invaluable.
Okay, so we've covered where to find grants, how to apply effectively, and even what to do after you submit.
Right.
What about like the mental game? How do you stay motivated when you're facing rejection or dealing with all the bureaucracy?
That's a great question.
Ugh.
This is where resilience comes in.
Okay.
Remember Olivia's story?
Yeah.
She could have easily given up when things felt overwhelming,
Right.
but Mr. Grant Money's belief in her, and more importantly, her own growing belief in herself, that's what fueled her determination.
It's about remembering why you started in the first place
Right.
and holding on to that vision even when things get tough.
Exactly. It's like your why becomes your anchor.
Yeah.
It keeps you grounded when things get rough.
And this applies to everyone, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Not just entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Whether we're launching businesses, writing books, or pursuing any kind of goal, we all need that strong sense of purpose to get through the ups and downs.
So Olivia's got her purpose. She's got the funds, but she also needs a solid plan, right? I mean, even the best intentions can fall apart without a clear roadmap.
Oh, sure.
What are some essential elements of a plan that can help Olivia and our listeners stay on track?
This is where we move beyond the fairy tale
Okay.
and get into the practicalities of project management.
Right.
Olivia needs a detailed business plan that outlines everything,
Everything.
from her target market and menu offerings to financial projections and marketing strategies. It's like building a house. You need blueprints before you start laying bricks.
I bet a lot of listeners are thinking, ugh, business plans, spreadsheets, that sounds so boring.
I know, but it's essential.
Right.
A well-structured plan isn't just about crunching numbers.
Okay.
It's about clarity, accountability, and making informed decisions. It forces you to think through potential obstacles, anticipate challenges,
Yeah.
and have contingency plans in place.
So it's like a safety net.
Exactly. It helps you navigate all those unexpected twists and turns that inevitably come up.
And it's not a static document, right?
Right.
It can change.
Exactly. As Olivia gains experience, gathers feedback, and adapts to the market, her plan will evolve too. Flexibility and a willingness to adjust are key.
This is also practical and insightful. But let's not forget about the human element.
Right.
Olivia's a single mom.
Yeah,
She's got limited time and resources.
for sure.
How does she balance the demands of her personal life with this intense workload of building a business?
Yeah, that's a struggle a lot of entrepreneurs face.
Right.
It's a constant juggling act, and there's no easy answer.
Okay.
But this is where support systems are so important.
Like what kind of support systems?
Well, Olivia needs to lean on her network.
Okay.
Friends, family, other entrepreneurs who have been through this, delegating tasks, seeking out mentors, even joining online communities for support and advice.
Yeah.
These are all ways to avoid burnout and maintain a healthy work-life balance.
It's about recognizing that you don't have to do everything yourself.
Exactly. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Right. And remember, Mr. Grant Money's appearance in Olivia's life wasn't just about financial support.
It wasn't, no.
It was about encouragement, belief, and guidance. Olivia needs to cultivate those same elements within her own journey,
Right.
seeking out mentors and surrounding herself with people who champion her vision.
It's like building her own personal board of advisors.
I love that. Her own cheerleading squad.
Exactly. And as Olivia's Cafe takes shape as she overcomes obstacles and celebrates milestones,
Yeah.
her confidence will grow, fueling her determination to keep pushing forward.
This has been so insightful. I think our listeners have a much clearer understanding of the world of grants now
I hope so.
and how to navigate it effectively.
Yeah,
But Olivia's story doesn't end with finding a grant, does it?
it doesn't.
No. There's a whole journey ahead of her.
Exactly. Securing funding is a major milestone, but it's just the beginning. What happens next is where things get really interesting. And that's where we'll pick up in part 3 of this deep dive.
Okay, so we've explored this whole world of grants,
We have.
learned some insider tips, and we've seen how Olivia's encounter with Mr. Grant Money opened up all these new possibilities for her cafe dream. But let's be real, a grant is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Exactly. It's like getting all the ingredients for a delicious meal. You still have to do the cooking.
I like that analogy.
So securing the funds is a huge step, but it's the execution, the actual building of the dream.
Yeah.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so let's imagine Olivia Grant in hand, ready to take that next step. What kind of challenges do you think she might face as she starts making this cafe a reality?
Well, I mean, it's definitely not all sunshine and lattes from here.
Right.
She's likely going to run into some unexpected hurdles,
Look what?
logistical nightmares, maybe even moments of self-doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about it. She's not just coming up with a menu.
Right.
She's dealing with permits,
Yeah.
negotiating leases, building a team.
It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
And those are all those nitty-gritty details that Mr. Grant Money, with his almost magical presence, might not have fully prepared her for.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the idea, the big picture, but then reality hits.
For sure.
And suddenly you're dealing with plumbing issues and supply chain delays.
Exactly.
So how does Olivia stay focused and motivated in the middle of all that?
That's where that inner drive Mr. Grant Money talked about becomes so crucial.
Yeah.
Remember what he said?
What was that?
The dream is yours for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia needs to tap into that reason, that deeper purpose behind her cafe vision.
I see.
It's not just about serving coffee. It's about creating a community hub, a place of connection and warmth.
Right.
That sense of purpose, that's what's going to fuel her through the challenges.
So her why becomes her anchor.
Exactly. It keeps her grounded when things get rough.
And that's something we can all apply to our lives, right?
Absolutely. Whether we're starting businesses, writing books, or chasing any goal, we all need that strong sense of purpose to navigate the ups and downs.
Okay, so Olivia has her purpose, she has the funds, but she also needs a solid plan, right?
She does.
I mean, even the best intentions can fall apart without a roadmap.
Oh, for sure.
So what are some essential elements of a plan that can help Olivia and our listeners stay on track?
Well, this is where we move beyond the fairy tale to get into the nitty-gritty of project management.
Right.
Olivia needs a detailed business plan, outlining everything.
Okay.
Her target market menu, offerings, financial projections, marketing strategies. Think of it like building a house.
Right.
You need blueprints before you start laying bricks.
I bet a lot of people are thinking, oh, business plan spreadsheet sounds boring.
I know. It can seem that way.
Yeah.
But a well-structured plan isn't just about crunching numbers, you know?
Right.
It's about clarity, accountability, making informed decisions. It forces you to think through potential obstacles, anticipate challenges, and have those contingency plans in place.
So it's like a safety net.
Exactly. It helps you navigate all those unexpected twists and turns that will inevitably come up.
And it's not set in stone, right?
No, definitely not. As Olivia gains experience, gets feedback, and adapts to the market, her plan will evolve too.
Makes sense.
Flexibility is key, being willing to adjust.
This is all great advice. But we can't forget about the human element here.
Right.
Olivia is a single mom.
Yeah.
She's got limited resources. How does she balance all the demands of her personal life with this intense workload of building a business?
A tough question.
Yeah.
It's a constant juggling act.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is where support systems are so important.
Like what?
Olivia needs to lean on her network, you know?
Yeah.
Friends, family, other entrepreneurs who have been through this.
Okay.
Delegating tasks, seeking out mentors, even joining online communities for support and advice. These are all things that can help her avoid burnout and maintain some kind of work-life balance.
So it's about recognizing that you don't have to do it all alone.
Exactly. Yeah, asking for help is not a weakness. It's actually a strength.
And remember, Mr. Grant Money's appearance in Olivia's life wasn't just about the money.
No, it wasn't.
It was about the encouragement, the belief, the guidance.
Right.
Olivia needs to cultivate those same elements in her own journey, you know?
I agree.
Finding mentors and surrounding herself with people who champion her vision.
It's like she's building her own personal board of advisors.
I love that. Her own cheerleading squad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as Olivia's cafe starts taking shape, you know, as she overcomes obstacles and celebrates milestones, her confidence will grow. And that's what's going to fuel her determination to keep going.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Olivia's story, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What can they apply to their own lives, whether they're entrepreneurs or just chasing any ambitious goal?
Well, I think Olivia's story reminds us that even the most fantastical dreams can be achieved.
Right.
It takes practical planning, unwavering belief, and a willingness to embrace the messiness of it all.
The ups and downs.
Exactly. Recognizing that there will be setbacks, but with each challenge you overcome, you gain valuable experience.
And you build resilience.
For sure. It's about remembering that the dream is yours for a reason.
Like Mr. Grant Money said.
Exactly. It's up to you to nurture it, fight for it, and ultimately bring it to life.
So to all our listeners out there, dream big, plan, strategically build your support system, and never underestimate the power of your own determination. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.